And I am now on another healing journey. And even though it's painful, it's very exciting because I know what lies at the other end. And I use the word end very loosely because there is no end to healing. But I know what lies at the end of this metamorphosis, rather. Greetings, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Noni. If you're new here, greetings, hi. If not, thank you so much for coming back. How this video came about was just that I am starting to realize how cyclical life is. It's this ongoing cycle of coming done and undone over and over again in new and different phases of our lives. And so I wanted to give you the steps that I'm taking and have taken before that I know will work on this journey of healing and my healing practices and how I approach a situation that has hit me with surprise, or just when life throws you a curveball. Sometimes you just are in this place and you need to heal, and I'm so excited to share these with you. Okay, the lighting's changed. It's very dark, hectic. Okay, so I hope you are comfortable. I hope you're cozy while we have our little chat here about healing. For me, step one in a healing process is to be still. It's to pause. Usually we are running on autopilot. We're always working from our subconscious beliefs, and we're just reacting to life instead of responding to it. That's usually why we end up in places where we're like, whoa, hold on, how did I get here? Because you react instead of respond, and you find yourself landed in a place where you didn't plan or didn't want to be. So for me, my first thing is to be still. And meditation comes in many different forms. I don't think you necessarily always have to sit down and even though it's like one of the most beneficial things you can do for yourself. Being still means maybe cutting out noise from your life, like just busyness, or if you have been filling your time with a lot of plans just to keep busy and to distract yourself from doing the work. Being still, just spending a day with yourself if you can, if it's feasible. And when you are still, you start to sift out the noise. You start to sift out other people's thoughts from your own. You start to work out which feelings are yours to deal with and which you have carried, for others. You start to realize where you are wrong and you need to change, and you need to acknowledge that you have hurt others around you. So being still and pausing is definitely the first step in any healing journey. And it takes a while because you have to get used to the sound of your own thoughts, which can be very difficult if you haven't done it in a while. And I feel like for me, that's been the case. I've been extremely busy, starting a new job, etc. And the momentum of reacting to the situations around me instead of intentionally responding to what was going on has resulted in that feeling of being lost. And all I need to do is be still and listen to myself and what the universe has to say, because essentially we are all just spiritual beings having a human experience. And I know you've all heard that before, but it's like one of the most truest, poignant things you can ever hear. We are all spiritual beings having sometimes a pretty wild human experience. Step two is to release expectation. Release expectation of how you think your healing journey is going to and should look like. Release expectation of having some sort of quick fix situation, or, that you're going to just come out of this and you're going to be like glowed up, and it doesn't happen that way. It's never linear. Within your healing journey, you are going to be old you and new you. But from here to here, there are many deaths and rebirths and deaths and rebirths and deaths and rebirths. And then you get to the new you and you find a new challenge and a new situation that requires ongoing maintenance of the soul. Therefore, just taking a moment to realize that if you thrust your expectations upon this healing journey, you will ruin it for yourself. And in fact, you'll get more tangled and more confused. The more confused you get, the more you're not doing the right thing. Healing feels like, And confusion feels like, And that's not what you're going for. So you know that you need to slow down and just take in your healing and release the expectation that it's going to look a certain way, that it's going to last a certain amount of time, etc., etc. Step 3, always on my list of everything, exercise, move your body. And I will always advocate for that because it will really help with your mental state, mental clarity. And exercise for me, like any body movement, for me counts as exercise. And people can't gatekeep. You can't gatekeep what I feel brings my heart rate up. Like, exercise is exercise. So if it's a walk, if you can, obviously these are suggestions and everybody's situation is different. So even if it's a walk, I sometimes stretch. If I just do one like downward dog and 3 cat cows or whatever, I'm like, wow, nailed it. But on a healing journey, I think exercise is very important. So stillness, releasing expectation, and exercise. My 4th tip on your healing journey is to remember that the ego will try and interrupt it by either fixating on the past or comparing your progress to those around you, what you see on social media, etc. So you will find that your ego stories will start to flare up and add to confusion, and that's how you know your ego needs to be checked. How you need to say, okay, I hear you, and you, the ego, came to protect me from other things, but right now you're incorrect, and I challenge you to be a different way. And obviously this is step 4 because it's much further down in a healing journey where we can start to differentiate our ego stories from our authentic selves. I think that that's a process. I think it's a lifelong process because sometimes I don't even notice when I'm operating from my ego and I've lost a little bit of touch with knowing, the pandemic, the quarantine gave us time to be in touch with it. And now that we're starting to disperse back into living and a new way of living, I see how it's easy to lose touch with your authentic self and to only react via ego stories. So when you find yourself reacting, comparing, thinking of the past, or having thoughts that you're going back or regressing, those are all ego stories because there is no going backwards. There is no, you're different. Even if you feel like you've fallen back, that you're different now. And so I think that's really important. The ego will flare up. You need to remember that, and you need to have your own self-soothing and coping skills. If you would like me to make a video on a self-soothing methods that I use, please comment below and I will do so. Oh yes, this is a good time to remember you, to remind you to please like and subscribe. I was supposed to do that in the beginning and I always forget, but please will you like and subscribe? It helps the YouTube algorithm gods know that Noni Silomo is doing an alrighty-yo job. I talk too much. My 5th tip for, your healing journey and how to start a healing journey is to... My 5th tip when it comes to being on a healing journey is to date yourself. And I know that's all self-lovey and woo-woo, and I don't mean it how you think I mean it. I think when I say date yourself, I really mean doing all these things that you wish someone else would do for you for yourself. It's like about taking all of those desires, those tiny little things that are actually a lot of effort, that you want another person to put that effort into doing and to noticing and to seeing. Do that for you, because you're the person who's going to spend the rest of their lives with you. And once you realize that taking care of yourself and protecting yourself first is the key, it's the answer. You know, we are taught to put others before us to our detriment. You know, it also comes up in the strong black woman narrative. Putting other people above yourself. It obviously comes up in many other areas, but I'm just using an example that's relevant to me, where I live so often in my masculine energy, the action, the doing, that I forget that I also need to be tenderized, you know, to be a little, you know, to be romance-defied. I forget that I am deserving of that, and just because I can handle a lot of things doesn't mean I need to handle a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Thanks, guys. If you like this video, please let me know. I am thinking of doing many more of these, and remember to like and subscribe. If you stayed all the way till the end, I've said so many times, I'm so sorry. If you have stayed all the way until the end, please comment your top 3 favorite emojis. I am onto the rainbows lately. I really like the rainbows, so if I was commenting on my video, I would put rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. So if you put rainbow, 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 I'll be flattened. My life will change. I'll be healed. Okay, I'm talking shit now. Okay, bye.